Hi, this is Roxanne, and I am going to be commenting on my thoughts about the readings for this week and about the videos that we watched and about the information in the PowerPoints and the text. Well, first, what my overall thoughts are has been really, I've been unaware. I remember my thoughts when I read chapter 1. I was angry. I thought, how dare they put me in this kind of a category and call me quote unquote white people whites. It never occurred to me that that's the language in reverse that we've been using and that I've been used to hearing my entire life. Not necessarily meant in a negative tone, but just the opposite. We would refer to the lady in the yellow shirt as the lady in the yellow shirt. On the other hand, if the lady in the yellow shirt had black skin, we wouldn't say the lady in the yellow shirt. We would say the black lady in the yellow shirt. And I never thought of that as being anything but just a way to identify people. I work as a counselor at a predominantly African American school. We have literally less than 10 Caucasian students at this school. And so for someone to say that I have a racial bias or that I'm prejudiced in any way, shape, or form or hold negative stereotypes makes me pretty frustrated because this is my choice. This is where I want to be. These are the children I want to work with. So I feel offended when people ask me, well, wouldn't you rather go to a prominent school? And my friend is an African American, and she considers herself brown. And she said that in her opinion, when people say that it doesn't matter the color of your skin, all races are equal, all races deserve, are the same, she says, no, they're not the same. And she went on to further explain that that is assuming that we all have the same or equal chance in the world. Well, I took the 50 questions on the white privilege, Miss Peggy Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack presentation. I asked myself all 50 of these questions, and I noticed a trend. I noticed myself pretty much marking true to every statement. And I got to thinking, what would my friend mark as her answers, my friend who is brown skinned? So I contacted her on the phone. She is a counselor. She has master's degrees. We have pretty equal education. We're close to the same age. We are different races. And interestingly enough, her answers were opposite mine, with the exception of maybe a couple of answers. But the comments on the Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack were not favorable to her. She did not feel like she was accepted as someone due to her race. And her answers were completely opposite mine. And that was an eye-opening because I thought we were pretty much alike in our thinking and in the way we operate, our beliefs, which we are, but in the way we perceive the world and the way the world perceives us, it's very different. When I was watching the doll study, it broke my heart, but it made me think these children are seeing reality every single day. And these children are not necessarily looking at other children's race or skin color and judging them, but they're watching their teachers' reactions, responses to them, society's reactions, responses, commercials, television commercials, movie previews, characters in books, and this is what they're seeing. And I just felt really sad. I wanted to hang my head at that point and say, this is a shame. This really is a shame that our society is so immersed in what we consider to be non-racist, normal behavior. And it's just the opposite. If our children truly are seeing this and answering these types of questions, as in the doll study, it was very sad to me, and it's an area that I would love to help improve. Question: how different was it to read and reflect and watch things that relate to me as a person and are closer to me in my own culture, as opposed to things that were far from who I am? I have never thought about excuse me, myself being from a dominant culture. Never in my life. I was raised in the mountains of Virginia. We had 2 African Americans in my entire school, both of whom I was very good friends with. And we weren't friends with the black girl. We were friends with, and we would say her name. Thinking in the development process that relates to me, where am I in my own identity level process? Well, I was reading all these different phases. Phase 1, Phase 2, conformity. Phase 3, I wrote it down, dissonance, resistance, and immersion. I was pretty sure that I didn't fit into any of the top 3. Then I started finding some connections, and then introspection, asking questions of who I am in relation to my racial heritage, etc. But then I really thought, no, I'm in integrative awareness. I'm in 6 and 7, commitment to anti-racist action. I'm a school counselor. I am, pro people, people's rights, children of different races. They have a right to their heritage, and I am an advocate for them. But then I got to really looking what each one of those phases is in detailed and means. And unfortunately, I found myself mixed in between some of the phases that, quite honestly, make me hang my head. And I know that I have a lot of room to grow and learn. And I'm very excited to have this opportunity to be in this awakening stage. That's what I'm calling. I'm making up a stage, so you can join it if you want to. It's called the Stage of Awakening. And to me, it's all about learning, educating ourselves to things. I was reading in the White Racial Identity Development, Understanding the Dynamics of Whiteness, where it says most white people perceive themselves as unbiased individuals. I don't perceive myself to be racist. So I am aware of my biases, prejudices, and I do know that there is a great need for me to continue learning in this area so that I can move through this stage in my life and come out on the stage 7 to where I truly feel like I can say, I am committed to anti-racist action. I will stand against it. I will advocate for all people. And so I'm really having to expand my knowledge, look inside who I am and what I believe, so that I can be the best possible advocate for them and the counselor that I know that I'm intended to be.